Back in June, I completely crashed out. I lost my mind, and I had to go through that shit alone. Honestly, at certain points, I felt like I truly needed therapy or something, but I became my own therapist. I don't want to go into the situation too deep, other than I got betrayed. Somebody, a narcissistic chick, betrayed me. She broke my heart, man. She played narcissistic games, and it was just a lot for me to consume, because the same person that did all this to me for a little while took interest in me, and I shared with them something I hadn't done with somebody for years. And I told them all my insecurities and what truly hurt me, who hurt me. I mean, let's be fucking honest. You can go into my social media. I have podcast interviews where I discuss my life, my past, what hurt me, what led me to prison. Everything I talk about is all documented. And this person knew that. They listened to all my stuff. They were fully invested in me. So they truly understood what fucking hurt me, what broke me. And like a thief in the night, they did that shit. They did the exact same things that I told them were my insecurities, and they turned around and they used them on me. And it was fucked up, man. It was fucked up. But it happened. So, why am I bringing this up? Because in the time when it happened, I was so stuck and I just couldn't understand, right? Now, I want to mention again, I said before, I hadn't let nobody in for a long time. I've been single now going into my 8th year. I'm still on that streak because this person was never my girl or anything. It was somebody else's girl. I found that out later. But I hadn't let anyone in for a long time. I studied a great deal of things. You guys know me from a lot of my works, photography, videography. I do modeling, I do speaking, I do poetry, I do lyrics, I do music. The list can go on because I'm constantly trying to better myself. The one thing I avoided, the one thing that was used against me by myself, I used this against myself, was love and letting myself become vulnerable again. I hadn't prepared for that. I hadn't studied that. So, I'm telling you all of this because the person that did what they did to me in the time when I couldn't understand it and I was crashing out, my heart was taking over. The reality of everything is that person, the lesson that they taught me, they showed me where I was vulnerable. They showed me where my defenses were low. I hadn't thought about love until it was smack in my face. And I wasn't prepared for it. And I wasn't prepared for the aftermath of the person not loving me back. Or at least not truly loving me back. Pretending to love me. I wasn't prepared for none of that. So how do you prepare for that? How do you prepare for that? Well, after, I had to study. I had to read up on it. I literally would I would go into ChatGPT and ask it to describe to me what it thought love was. I just really, it took a little bit. And then, because listen, at a certain point, I really felt down about myself. I felt insecure. I didn't feel like me. I was, somebody made me feel not worthy of anything, not worthy of love, not worthy of people, I was real fucked up. So it took me, honestly took me the whole summer. And everything switched when I refocused on myself, right? And that happened, unfortunately, from the darker part of the pain, where I was losing weight, right? Rapidly. I had lost almost 20 pounds in a few months because of surgery and because of this situation. So, don't let yourself get to that point. Don't crash out. If you're in a situation and red flags are going off, they're for a reason. Your mind is trying to let you know there's something wrong here. It's part of your defense mechanism that runs with system 1 in your brain. That's a whole nother a whole nother video that we could discuss that. But your system 1 is always running. You know, this is what makes you just blink without having to tell yourself blink, or breathe without having to tell yourself breathe, stuff like that. That's why when you walk into a room and things don't feel right, you get this feeling like, hey, something's off in here, and it's from the back of your mind, right? We all know these feelings, right? Or when you walk into a room and things are going really good and everybody's like uppity up, your mechanism allows you to relax and you become, you know, a part of the vibe. So, mind your red flags. Mind your red flags. You don't want to get to the point of crash out. You don't want to get to the point where you're hurt beyond, it felt like beyond repair, you know? And then at a certain point, because there's not a lot of people I could talk to, and I do talk to my stream. My community is everything. But back then, I didn't have my community yet. I was by myself. I didn't go live. I took off of everything for weeks. Until again, I started to see in myself that I was too sick from this. And at that point, I started to make myself better, because I had to flip the switch over and realize, listen, the situation wasn't the best situation for me. This person was playing me. Why would you want someone like that in your life, you know? People like that don't change. I've said this before. A snake only sheds its skin to become a bigger snake, you know? If they do shit to you once, they'll do it again, and each time it can just continue to get worse. I know that to be true. I'm 45 years old. I've dealt with a lot of women in my life. This one, though, was a grown woman that just played me and took me for a loop. But in that, it took me to a place where I had to study to understand what a narcissist truly is, because I never dealt with somebody like that. To understand the betrayal, you know, and then to be able to just let go of it and recognize that what they did, that was a them thing. What I did was let somebody in my life that was never supposed to have been there. You know, they should have never, I lowered my standard and let somebody in that, honestly, I, in retrospect, don't know why I even spoke to this person. But, you know, at times, we get caught up. Shit happens. So, I'm saying all of that to tell you, man, if you're in that situation, you've been in a situation, because a lot of people in my community come over and tell me, you know, hey, somebody just broke my heart. Hey, I'm going through it right now. Listen, if you're going through that situation, that stage, it hurts and you're down, and I get it. Literally just start reading about it. Just start reading about it. And when you read, I don't know, what's love, and you read the dictionary's definition of that, you could start analyzing what you had with whoever, and if that was love, right? Side by side, columnize it. It's how you're gonna be able to start seeing and getting through it when you analyze it, right? Hey, a person's supposed to love you unconditionally, right? That means no matter what. Did this person at any point lack in any of that? Right? You just pick out all the points. You'll see if there's more pros or cons. And then it just continues moving forward so that you can move forward, right? You can start process of elimination. No, they would make me wait 6 hours to respond to a message, or 2 hours, whatever it is. Everyone's fucking phone's right in their hand. right? We all know how cell phones work, right? Right. So you start analyzing, you start putting pieces together. Recognize people that care about you will show how they care about you by you not having to fucking ask them to care about you. Make sense? Don't get to the point of crash out. If you've already gotten to that point, find out what the lesson is. Find out why you're going through what you're going through. Because we all go through it. We all go through it. And the reason we go through it is because there was something that we were not mentally prepared for. And if you don't fix it, it'll happen to you again and again. And you'll be inside of a loop of constantly breaking your own heart because you don't know how to repair your own heart. So just giving you guys a little bit of what happened to me in hopes that you could take from that. Yo, we can all be vulnerable. I thought I was impenetrable, my walls, man. I was mistaken, sadly, and it set me back months. Don't let it set you back months. Listen to what I'm telling you. You can get through this. You can get through this if you're in it. And if you're not, and if you're like in the situation still and you're seeing the red flags, start talking. Start saying something. When you point out the red flags, if they're doing what you think they're doing, the defenses that they'll take will be noticeable. And then you'll be able to start pulling away from that. You don't want to be with somebody who, when you bring up things, their defense mechanism kicks in and they start arguing or they change subject. You want transparency with people, period. All right, listen, study about yourself. It's the only way you'll learn about yourself. It took me a couple of months. You guys come into my videos and streams all the time. I'm very grateful for how you guys think of me, but yo, I was fucking mentally destroyed. I was broken. And there was nobody to turn to. And at the time, I didn't have my community to turn to. So, don't let yourself, if you're in this situation, become a victim. And if you've been made a victim, don't think that that's it. You can come back from that. You're not a forever victim. You've just been victimized by a person who's got a non-caring attitude towards people. Right? They weren't raised right. Some people weren't raised right. Some people are just classless, you know? And if you're in my community, you're here listening to my videos, then you're in the different percentile. I'm sure of this. My algorithm only brings people who've dealt with shit that I've dealt with in one situation or another, whatever that might be. And so I truly hope that you're not going through anything of what I just spoke about. But if you are, start figuring out how you can get away from this situation. And the only way you could do that is by process of elimination, and you start putting it down on paper, you know, or digitally. It doesn't matter, just get it out. You got to visually see it. You have to treat it like a math problem, and then you'll be able to subtract what's not good for you and add what's gonna bring you value to your life. All right, take care of yourself. Nobody's gonna fucking come and save you. Not a single person. I got you through my words. I will do my best to inspire. The rest is on you. Okay, we can all be victims. We can all get got. Let's do our best to avoid that. All right, you guys have a great day, great weekend.